Have you ever been outside, maybe looking at a sunset or sitting by a lake or walking in the woods, and you have this moment where you feel like there is this unseen connection between you and everything around you? Maybe you've had this experience listening to music. There is a song that takes you to a certain place or evokes a certain feeling, and all of a sudden, you feel connected to everyone else who has ever listened to that song. Or perhaps you've experienced it with another person when you meet someone new, and there's just this instant click. This instant connection between the two of you that feels almost magical. If you've had these kinds of experiences, then you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Those moments of connection that you have, that feeling of being one with something bigger than yourself, you already are one with everything. That moment of feeling connected, that's just a memory of something that you've forgotten. And so in this video, I want to talk about that unseen connection, that connection between all of us and everything around us, and how you can tap into it whenever you want to feel more connected, more grounded, more at peace. The first thing you have to understand is that the mind's job is to divide and categorize the world. Right? The mind's job is to take this big, vast, continuous experience of reality and chop it up into little pieces so that we can deal with it one bite at a time. That's what the mind does. Divides and categorizes. It creates little boxes and labels and puts things into those boxes. And that's what allows us to function in the world. We can walk down the street and see a dog and know that it's a dog and not be afraid of it because we put it into its box. Animal, dog, harmless. That's what allows us to function in the world. But the problem is that sometimes we forget that that's what we're doing. Sometimes we forget that we're the ones who created those boxes, and we think that those boxes are actually real. We start thinking that dogs are actually separate from us, that other people are actually separate from us, that our ideas and opinions are actually separate from other people's ideas and opinions. And when we think that, then we start to fight over those things. We start to think that those things that are in the boxes are actually separate from us, when really everything is connected. Everything is one. Think of yourself as a cell in the body. The cell has a nucleus, and it contains the genetic material of the body. And the cell thinks it is a separate entity from the rest of the body. It thinks that it's independent, that it can survive on its own, that it doesn't need the other cells. But the reality is that the cell is only able to exist because it's part of the body, because it has all of the other cells around it. You are the same way. You are a cell in the body of humanity. You are a cell in the body of nature. You are a cell in the body of the universe itself. And you are dependent on all of the other cells around you. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything exists in relation to everything else. So here is a simple practice that you can do anytime you want to feel more connected to everything around you. This is what I call a 1-minute connection. And all you do is just close your eyes and imagine that your body is an extension of the room that you're in. Imagine that your body is an extension of the building that you're in, that it's an extension of the earth itself, that it's an extension of the solar system, that it's an extension of the galaxy, that it's an extension of the entire universe. Imagine that. You're connected to everything around you. All you need to do is just sit there and feel that connection. Feel that you are one with everything around you. And that will dissolve any feelings of loneliness or isolation that you might have. That will make you feel more connected, more grounded, more at peace. And it's as simple as that. I know it sounds kind of corny, right? It sounds kind of hippy-dippy. It sounds like something that wouldn't work. But I can tell you that this practice has been done around the world by thousands of people, and it works. I remember working with this guy. He was a contractor who was building a house for some people, and the wife comes up behind him while he's doing this practice, and she starts screaming at him, yelling at him, telling him how lazy he is, telling him how he's not doing his job right. And she's just going off on him, and he doesn't even respond, doesn't even look up. He just keeps doing his practice, and she keeps screaming at him for like 5 minutes. Finally, she stops and she looks at him and she says, "Why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you defending yourself?" And he looks at her and he says, "I am defending myself. I am defending myself by not defending myself." And she's confused, and he explains to her that he's doing this practice, that he's connected to everything around him, and that includes her. He's connected to her, and he realizes that the anger that she's feeling, the frustration she's feeling, that's coming from within her. That's not coming from him. And so he's not going to react to that. He's not going to defend himself against that, because that's not real. It's just her internal stuff that she's projecting onto him. And here's the amazing thing that happened next. He goes back to doing his practice, and the woman starts to cry, and she falls to her knees, and she's sobbing, and he asks her what's wrong. And she tells him that she's been fighting with her sister for years and years and years, and all of a sudden she sees her sister in this practice. She sees that they both cells in the same body, and she realizes that she's been fighting with herself, and she breaks down crying because she realizes how ridiculous that is, and she makes amends with her sister, and they become close for the first time in their lives. This happens all the time. People doing this practice, they start feeling more connected, more at peace, more grounded. And I think that's because this practice reminds us of something that we've forgotten. You already are connected to everything around you. You already are one with the universe. You don't have to do anything to become one with the universe. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to pray. You don't have to chant. You don't have to do anything. Just have to realize that that's already true. You just have to realize that you are already one with everything around you. That's what this practice reminds us of. You know, sometimes we get caught up in our little stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and what we supposed to do, and why we here and why we not here, and all of these different stories that we tell ourselves. And those stories can be very limiting. They can keep us from experiencing the kind of life that we really want to experience. Those stories can keep us from feeling connected to other people. They can keep us from feeling grateful for the abundance that's all around us. But when we do this practice and we realize that we're one with everything around us, then those stories no longer have power over us. Then we're free to experience whatever it is that we want to experience. You are connected to every other person on this planet. You're connected to every plant, to every animal, to every star in the sky. And none of that connection is more real than your connection to the room that you're in, to the building that you're in, to the earth that you're standing on. You are connected to everything. Every person, every plant, every star, every rock, every tree, everything in the universe is a unique expression of the same fundamental consciousness. And when we remember that that's true, then we can experience the kind of life that we really want to experience. Then we can feel the kind of love that we really want to feel. Then we can feel the kind of connection that we really want to feel. So if you liked this video, if you got something out of it, please like it, subscribe to my channel. And here's another video that I think you'll really enjoy.